Hey, you're now tuned in to Underdog Talk. I'm your host, Eric Jones Jr., the underdog with the heroic heart, and I have conversations with successful underdogs. And today I have Miss Brittany, aka Miss Brattany. She's a podcast host. Her podcast is Rescue for a Purpose. She's a motivational speaker, an advocate for bringing awareness to healing men, women, girls, and boys who have been through human trafficking. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And you?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm tired as all hell. I'm a teacher and I'm a kindergarten teacher, and we went to the pumpkin patch today, so that kind of took me out the game.
It did. How was it though?
Oh, it was fun. It was
I
fun.
miss the pumpkin patch. I like the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, sure. It's cool. I mean, the kids have fun. We didn't really have to walk a whole bunch of places or anything like that, so it was cool. It was hotter than what the weather's been, and then just being, just tired.
Yeah, just
And
tired.
then we had a PD meeting right afterward. Like, come on,
Come
man.
on.
Y'all know.
We just did all this.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. After this, I'm about to go get me some tacos or a burrito, and I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I'm a little tired too. I've been today I worked 12 hours and I own my own company during the day too. So I was like, whoo.
Yeah, I feel you.
I ain't
But
been to sleep yet.
you don't look tired. You got your hair done, face
Yeah.
looks nice. So I know I look
Thank
tired.
you.
I know I look tired. But today's episode is sponsored to you by, or sponsored to the audience by myself, my clothing brand, Christian Dewan. It's me and my son. 15% off if you use the promo code underdog. Underdog is right above us, but if you're listening, is UNDERDAWG talk, and you get 15% off. We got sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. So use the promo code and you will get 15% off. So today's conversation with Miss, I'm gonna call her Brattany because that's what she said at first, and then she gave the government. I don't know which one she is today.
I like Brattany.
Okay, so is this?
I really like it. I didn't know how you was going about it.
Okay, is it two different people or is it the same person, just different name? No. Okay. Because I know, back when I was around your age or a little younger, I used to have another name because I didn't want everybody to know my name. So I didn't know. So today's conversation, you good?
Yep, we back.
Oh, you back. Okay. I was like, dang, I was talking and then she didn't say nothing. I was like, dang.
I don't know what happened. It just went and said something. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll wait here.
That's that California Wi-Fi. But anywho. Anywho.
It would be us as much as we pay.
Yeah, I'm sure. My sister lives out there. So to be honest, I've never actually known someone that's dealt with the topic that we're going to talk about, or kind of topic we're going to talk about, but human trafficking. So kind of tell us, like, you don't have to go like deep into details, but like how did that go, and how old were you? What was going on in life?
I was a teenager. I was like 15 and a half, 16, going into 16. And I kind of was, my great grandparents raised me and they passed away. So I was grieving and I turned into a runaway. I didn't really have like a bond with my mother like that. We're cool, but I was used to them, they raised me. So when they passed away, it was like I lost my parents. So after that, I just started running away, and then I ended up with the wrong people, the wrong place at the wrong time, way in Atlanta. And I ended up getting kidnapped by a gorilla pimp. Didn't know where I was at. Didn't know, I was even in the area of prostitution. I'm like, oh my God. And I just start seeing all these pimps and girls. I'm like, whoa, this is what's going on over here. Like, this is really happening over here. Like, where am I? So I didn't think it was real, like, I'm like, he's playing. He did not just like take me in his room. Like, this is a joke, right? And no, he was serious, like very. He was like, yeah, no. He was like, you're staying here and you're not leaving until you pay me. I'm like, pay you? He's like, yeah, you looked at me. I'm like, I didn't look at you. Like I was sitting on the stairs crying, trying to figure out how I'm I'm going home because I came with the wrong people. Like I don't even know, where I'm at, what's going on. And he was like, yeah, you owe me 10,000 and you can't leave till you get it. And it just went up and up and up. So at that point I knew, yeah, like I'm actually like kidnapped. Like it is real. Like he's not letting me go anywhere. And he had a girl with him, his bottom girl or whatever. Um, and she was helping him with me. They monitored me. Like it was like traumatic. Like I had to do everything he said when he said. He raped me. He beat me with guns. Like he made me sell myself. Like literally, like every single day. He had guys lined up in trucks and cars, and like it was like a whole ring in this particular hotel going on behind the gas station. I'm like, nobody knows this. Like nobody. It
Mm.
was crazy. It was like the worst thing ever. And I'm like, well, me dealing with running away and grieving, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of like in shock at the situation. So I just kept praying, you know what I'm saying? Like every day I was just praying and praying. Like when he beat me up, I prayed. When he made me do this, I prayed. When I was in the shower, I prayed. Like, I mean, they monitored me in the shower. I had to sleep in between of them. I had to eat what he wanted me to eat, dress how he wanted me to dress. Like it was like full captive type of time. And it was like, whoa. And he was black.
Wow.
And the
I'm
girl.
wow. I'm like that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. I know you've overcome it and you are in a better place, but you only really hear that like on movies. Or, I mean, you see it or you read articles. Me, I've never had anyone in my family or anyone close to me had that happen to any one of them. So you like kind of just see that in a movie, and you just telling that I felt like I was listening to you tell me a movie that was on some station that they play it on, and that's just crazy that that's out there, and it's unfortunate that you had you went with the wrong people. You was like, I'm just trying to get out of here. This ain't really what I want to do, but that ain't what you want to do.
Yeah,
You
either.
was like, I go back to that. I go back to that bullshit that I was dealing with
Yeah,
and
because I
dealing with.
left with them. I was getting away from an abusive guy that
Mhm.
was beating me up and making me do the same thing. But it was like a manipulative type of thing. It wasn't like kidnap. It was like I thought I was in a relationship and he had other plans. And when I got with him, he's like, no, this is what you're gonna do. I need money. You're gonna do this, do this, do this with your body, and you're gonna give me the money. So I was running from him, beating me up every day, and ended up with the guys that I was with. I mean, I didn't have nowhere to go, I was a runaway. So I went with them and they got to Atlanta and they're like talking about doing this. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then I ended up with the other guy and it was just like, whoa, it just took a traumatic turn, you know what I'm saying, in my life. And I didn't think I was ever gonna get away. He told me, like, you're never getting away. So your parents don't want you, they're not looking for you. You're a runaway. Nobody cares about you. I was like, wow. And I believed it for a second, but I was like, nah, I know God ain't gonna keep me here. Like, I know this is not like the end of it. Like, can't be.
Yeah. So how did you get out or get away? Like, what was that like?
Well, the girl that he had helping with me, he thought that after he had me so long, I mean, we're going into a year, after he had me so long, he's like, oh, well, she's not going to work because it's a mind thing. I tell people it's a mind thing. Even if you have a scapegoat, your mind is not going to let you run away until you feel like I really can get away. So he felt like I was already trapped by the mind, which I was. But I was like, well, I'm going to try it. When he left me with her, he went to go get some weed on the other side of town and he caught a flat tire. I was like, oh my God, that was God. So she threw me my phone, like, you need to find some work. You need to do something. And I was thinking, yeah, And my aunt, I only knew one person's number by heart. And I text her, like, Aunt Amy, I'm kidnapped. This is what I see. This is where I've been at. Like, this is the area. This is the street signs I remember. I'm stuck. Like, send the police. And she was all the way in Texas. And she called the police from Texas in Atlanta, and they was there in like 5 minutes. And the girl called him like, "We're caught. Don't come back. Forget her." Like she was talking hella crazy to the police. Like I'm just like, why are you doing this? But now that I've healed and I'm healing and I'm learning, like it was a mind thing for her too. It's no telling how long he had her mind, and had her. So I got over her. I forgave her. Like she's probably in the same situation. It just grew. There's no telling what she went through to even meet him or get to him. And then I didn't get justice or nothing for years. Like I had to live with that. and go through the changes just with, with men and just like being, traumatized, And then I just got justice 3 years ago, actually. They reached out to me. I was in my closet praying. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Something has to change. Like, I'm broken, like there has to be a way. And the next day, a detective called me and was like, we're subpoenaing you and your family and everybody to court in Atlanta. Literally like 3 years ago. It just made 3 years a month ago.
Wow. That's crazy. But that, like you said, that was God, like him getting that flat tire and you were able, like, this, I feel like I'm listening or watching SVU or
It's
Chicago.
crazy, right?
Yeah, like I was telling my, because I have a co-teacher, I was telling her, I was interviewing you or having a conversation with you, and I was like, I've never, heard of anyone actually having to deal with that, and just listening to you, it sounds like a SVU episode.
And it's crazy because people think it don't happen to us. Like, oh, it don't happen in the real world. Like, that's overseas. And I was like, no, it happens to us right here. That's why so many women is going missing. And then, like, I finally met a girl that I spoke with recently who was from overseas, and they trafficked her from overseas to here, to the United States. And her experience, I was like, wow, like that's the movie experience. Like, like it's crazy. It's just crazy that it even happens, and we
Yeah.
have to like fear for our life. So now I have this fear that I work on. Like, I really think I can't, at night I'm like on 10. Like, I think that it's happening over and over again. You know what I'm saying? It's so hard to overcome it after the fact that it happens to you.
So how many years ago was that, like, that actually happened to you?
See,
Well, you say you were what, 16?
yeah,
So
going into 17 is when I was found at 17. So I'm 28 now.
about 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
So, and that's crazy. That's not crazy, but that you still deal with it because how traumatizing that was. And sometimes people go through things in life that they can't get over, or they get over to a certain degree, but it still haunts them because it's something that you didn't do.
Yeah, for sure. And then like I didn't get justice for 9 years. So I didn't know how to handle that. I never had a therapist. Literally, I have not had a therapist yet. I couldn't find one that related to me. I couldn't find one I felt understood or just cared enough. So like I literally had to deal with that for like the whole all them years. And then they just got me justice 3 years ago. So now my healing process is finally like starting. And then like every day I find out something new. Like, dang, I didn't know that bothered me. Like with men, or dang, I really didn't know that bothered me with my mom or with my dad. Like, why did they put me in this position? Like, why don't they care? Like I've been in California 12 years now alone. Literally. I just packed up and left with nothing, my clothes, and was like, I'm out.
And
After I got rescued.
I feel you. Like, you want to get away from that. Like, you don't even want to go like to the state next door. I want to go to a whole different coast. I don't even want to get
Man.
that because that pain is always going to be there. It's kind of like if if you had a house growing up and something happened at the house, you don't really want to go back there. You don't want to go
Mm-mm.
back to that to make you remember. But then at a point, you're able. So have you been back to Atlanta, or is that something that like triggers you?
Yes, when they made us come, they subpoenaed us 3 years ago, and I went traumatic. Like, he drugged the case out. It was 40 people that testified. He drugged the case out for a full month. So it was like we relived the whole situation, all these women, their emotions. Like, it was like the traumatic experience ever. So I haven't been back since then. And then I don't even really go home and visit like that. I just started going home to visit home.
Yeah,
Like, because I feel like that was the start of it. And then Atlanta's like, woo. And then it's like, I'm so tied into like the DA that was on my case, my prosecutor, like all of them, they love me. Like, I speak for them and everything yearly, for 100 Black women, like everywhere. So I'm just like, I really could do good there, but I'm scared there. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And human trafficking is so bad there. It's like, I don't feel like I'm going to be fully safe to go there until I'm like, okay, I got this.
yep. I understand it. I understand it. So with your parents, did you feel a certain way about them? And if you did you forgive them for what eventually happened to you?
That's so crazy that you asked me that because I literally posted a video about this today. Like, I'm working on that right now. Like, I thought that I forgave them, but I don't think I did because I feel like my mom didn't look for me. I felt like she felt like, oh, she's a runaway, she's fast. My aunt actually said that in the report, my dad's sister, and I'm just like not over her yet for that. Because then when everybody seen it was true, everybody felt bad. Like, whoa, all these women got the same story. We don't even know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, like years later, like it's like everybody felt stupid. So I'm just like, you didn't look for me. I don't feel like you cared. I don't feel like, yeah. And then my dad either. Like my dad, I just had a traumatic experience from him at 21. So I'm definitely like, I'm done with him. I blocked him. I don't even have no conversation for him.
Understand, and I could, and I definitely could understand where you're coming from with that. Like, you ain't come get me. Like, you ain't look for me. Like,
You didn't believe it.
yeah, as a kid, like you want your parents to like they're your superhero. They're gonna do everything in their power to to get you back. Or me being a parent, somebody tell me my kid gone, I don't care how mad I'm at him.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm tearing up some shit.
Yeah, for real, because it's like, who lies about that though? Like,
Yeah,
when you're running away, you're going through the motions. I'm running away for a reason. She should have started there, but she didn't know no better, I guess. Everybody has their own progress they got to make, but it's like, who lies about those type of things? Like being kidnapped, and like my life was the open book. When I was running away, like I was known from where I was from, so everybody knew I was running away. Everybody knew this. Everybody, like everybody. It's small, like it's Kansas, like so it's like I wasn't lying about anything that was going on. So who lies about that particular situation? Like, no, I was really like taken, and I don't think she believed it until 3 years ago. Like fully believed it until it hit her in the face. Like, oh,
until y'all had to go to court and everything. Yeah, and I'm sure deep down, I'm as a parent, you like I know she fucked up about it because
yeah,
that's like you would never want anything to happen to your child, and then in a circumstance where your child don't have no control and all this traumatizing stuff going on, and for whatever reason it happened, but everything does, even though that's a fucked up situation you went through, everything does happen for a reason. So after you you said you went to court and everything, you're somewhat healing, you got your podcast and you speak. What made you speak, and was it hard to come out and speak and talk about the things that you talk about?
yeah, it is. It was hard at first. Now I'm kind of like used to it. I'm getting to where it's like at ease. Like it's just I'm just talking now, because at first it was very like I was nervous all the time, crying every time I told my story. But like speaking for the prosecutors and them, that's what helped me. Like speaking for them, and I guess I felt comfortable with them because they helped me get through that too with my case. Like I kind of felt the comfort. So speaking for them over and over kind of like got me the confidence. It was so hard, and I decided to speak because I didn't have help. Like I didn't have no therapist. Like I felt like nobody cared. I felt like the law dropped the ball. They brung my case back up years later. Like it's like no voice for those type of things. You know what I mean? Like because nobody thinks it happens in the United States. Like now it's so popular. You're hearing about it more and more and more. But at first nobody was talking about it. Like it just wasn't like a care for it. And then with my parents, like my mom don't even ask about the situation. We've never talked about what happened. She didn't stay in court to see the situation through. She ended up leaving. So it's like things like that. Like people just don't. It's like in one ear and out the other. So I was like, maybe if I speak and bring awareness, it will help people. Like I want to open an apartment building for people that's been through this and help them get the healing that they need. Like get them situated in life. Like because it's a whole process, and I didn't even know it until I started. Like whoa, like it's really like starting your life over again. Because I didn't get to fully grow up either because I was running away as a teenager. So I had to grow up fast. I never got my child life really like that.
Yeah, yeah, and I love that. I applaud you for that because it's hard for someone to go through any stuff that fucks up their life or messes up their life, and then speak on it. Like for me, I grew up with a disability. I didn't know why I had this disability. I didn't know why I had to go through all these things, and then I learned, oh, okay, it's to speak, it's to help people
Mm.
overcome whatever they're going through because I was able to, and it took forever for me to
Now
understand that. Yeah, to understand. I'm like, man, God, why? What's
I
up?
can't hear you.
Oh, you can't? Can you hear me now? Hold on. Can you hear me now? Hello?
No. No.
No, can you hear me now?
Dang. No.
No, what the heck?
It's not me right now.
Um, I don't know. Let me
Dang.
let me go back out and come back
Oh, you know what?
in. Yeah,
Hello?
yeah.
You know what? I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I can hear you now, though.
It's that California stuff. I don't know what you got going on over there. It's all on you. It's all on you. It's cool. It's cool. You just want me to do some editing. It's all right. It's cool. It's cool. I just gotta do some editing.
I'm so sorry. I was
Um,
like, what is this?
where were we at? Do you remember?
You were saying like it was for you to speak. I really feel
Oh yeah.
that. I feel like God uses us in certain ways for reasons. Like I really feel like I'm used as a vessel, to really to a messenger to speak. I'm always teaching something or helping or speaking about something.
So being a speaker myself and understanding that you got to study and research what you talk about, even though you could live it, but you got to be able, to have that language. Is it hard for you to do the research and study and be able to come up with different things to help others, or are you at a point where you understanding this isn't about me, this is to help others, but because sometimes stuff will trigger what used to happen to you. So does that trigger you? Or are you able to like, all right, this ain't about me. I'm gonna help somebody.
Yeah, no, I'm able to push through it. Like this ain't about me no more. Like, and it kind of just comes to me. I just like pray about it, and then I be like, I go from there, and it comes to me, and I just speak and figure out, okay, oh, I could do this to help this person. I could do this to help this person. So I guess I'm kind of over that stage. I do cry afterwards, but by myself.
Yeah, understand.
But I'm over the speaking part.
So, what did you exactly do? Excuse me, to get through. You don't have to tell every step, but what were some of the things that helped you through the process to heal to get to where you were able to talk? Like, because I think we didn't skip over it, but I just want you to be able to like tell people, because it might not be human trafficking, it might not be anything to do with anything sexual. It could be something happened to them, but that same thing you might have done can help them. So what's some of the give me like 2 or 3 things that you did afterwards that helped you get to a better space?
I literally, for one, went to church because after I was kidnapped, I was still in that mindset. So I was still trying to do what he had me doing on my own. So I had to release that. So I went to church, and that's how I quit. And then I started meditating. I do a lot of journaling. That's really it. Like my meditation, journaling, affirmations, God. Like I'm just like raw. Just,
Yep. Yep. Like I said, those are things that anybody can do that's going through something. Like going to church. I would that'd be a whole nother podcast.
man, for real, because I was about to
Have a
go into. I had to
relationship with
catch
God. I'm
myself.
gonna say have a relationship with God, because I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
in church, but
spirituality.
yeah,
Spirituality.
church people, yeah, we'll leave that alone. But have a relationship with God, but meditating. I need to do that more myself. I do, but I need to do it in a more quiet setting. But I do journal. I write down all kinds of stuff. I got notebooks galore. Just on writing ideas down, writing just different stuff. It just helps you get it out. Cause sometimes you're not able, like you said earlier, you're not able to talk to somebody. Or if you're talking to somebody, it's like, why am I telling you these ideas? You can't help me. You don't even understand it. It's
Man,
like,
they be dry. They don't understand. They don't really have a drive for it. Everybody's not the same.
yeah,
Everybody's ambition. Another thing I do, I buy myself flowers. Like I do a lot of stuff that I feel that men don't do, and I guess that has something to do with the trauma as well.
mm,
I buy myself flowers. The beach is really important to me. So like nature, water, like surrounding myself by those type of things too. Um, I just man.
yeah. You just can't go and throw men. You ain't gonna just uh men. You say the man's that you saw or something of that sort. Don't say men. You just gonna throw us all in there. But that was kind of I was going kind of ask that question. How is not necessarily like relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend talking, but how is your relationship with men in general from that?
So I have a lot of male friends.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like made my own family as far as that. On the personal end, they don't stand a chance, man. If you can't like know me all the way, break me down, understand me, my triggers, what to say, not to say, like I'm kind of like a little bitch. I am kind of because, and I don't try to be, but I just gotta be handled right because I don't want to go back to that or see you as that. I don't want you to do the wrong thing. Like if you want to do something with me, I tell you no, no, me, no. Like certain things will take me back. So I'm like, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's gonna take like Prince Charming. God gonna have to send one of the disciples that he had up there down.
No, for real,
Not
fighting.
and not even to saying it like you're a difficult person, but people would have to realize what you've been through. That, like you said, certain stuff might trigger you. It don't got nothing to do with him.
It's
It's
not
just
personal.
triggers you, and it's like okay, I like so like you would have to understand how to do it. So like or not like to be able to have a relationship with you and where you're comfortable, where you don't feel that because it could be what you could be with a person 3 years and they did something and you like, nope, I'm good. And it don't have
Yeah,
nothing to do with them and they will have to understand, okay, all right, let me give you a break or let's do this or whatever. And I
yeah,
totally understand that. It's not as easy as dating just a regular woman because women that have been raped, abused, all those different things,
it's different.
it's different. And I've actually like talked to a female that happened to, and I understood. I was even young at the time, but I understood like, all right, you can't. You can't be as thirsty or whatever with this person because it's different for them. So I
Yeah,
really understand it, and I would hope that dudes would understand that. But I mean, everybody from a different
no,
stuff, and yeah. Anywho, so
man.
uh, let's get into where do you speak, where do you speak, and if someone is listening to this, how where do you like what are things do you go into school, stuff like that, and then kind of like what are like two things that you kind of like we understand you talk about the human trafficking, but what are some of the like the awarenesses that you speak about?
I'm trying to get into schools now through Atlanta. Through one of the officers that was on my case, I've been like talking to him back and forth, trying to get into schools through law enforcement, different schools. Lately, I've just been speaking on Zoom. I'm trying to do more of the public thing now that this COVID thing is like, people are actually going to be back in public. And then I speak on like parenting. I speak on how it starts at home. I speak on like the science of it. Like simple as having dinner with your children. You know what I'm saying? Listening to them, believing what they say. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's not a lie. If they say Uncle Jimmy, pay attention to Uncle Jimmy's actions. You know what I'm saying? Like really, because people don't pay attention and they think that you're lying or you're this or you're that, or you have to pay attention to those things because when you don't and then it really happened, then you wonder why your daughter or son acts a certain way when they get older or has a lot of resentment. So I talk about that, like I break that down about like parenting and how it starts at home and different affection that you need as a child, especially as girls, growing up. I break down the science of all of that. What to look for when someone is being trafficked. If you're like outside, airport, driving down the street, gas station, how it looks, what it looks like. How to spot a pimp that is maybe a gorilla or a trafficker, not just girls that want to go do it. Because there are people that is their lifestyle. So yeah, I do a lot of like awareness of all aspects at home, how to prevent your child from even walking into that. Because the child will start running away, and that's what they're going to run away to do is other things that are illegal for money, and then it puts you in different situations. I was having a talk yesterday with somebody. We was talking about how it's all the same. People don't look at it as the same as like human trafficking, drug trafficking, all that, because you still, it's like they're all in the same, a lot of people are in the same lane of doing all multiple things. You know what I mean? You can end up in any situation just by running away and you just want to get away from home because you want love from your mom or you want a little more time from your dad. Or so I break down all of that because I dealt with it
Yep.
at home.
I love it. I love it. And it's like you said, it starts at home. And it really is, because this is what I speak on, and then this is like what my school is: social and emotional. Like parent,
Yep.
as a parent, you got to make sure your kid is able to talk to you and wanting to talk to you and trust you. Just because
Mm-hmm.
just because you're the parent, I
Yes.
mean they trust you because
Yep.
of your actions, because
That's
of how
crazy.
you are, because of what you say. Like you gotta, like, I keep it funky with my kids. Like I like, if you want to ask me some questions of what I did, what mistakes, what bad stuff, good stuff, I want them to be like, all right, I can go talk to him. I'm comfortable. They might be a little nervous or scared because I do, I got a loud mouth, and I do get dad mode. But it's like, okay, they don't want to disappoint, or they might not want to hear what I have to say, but they're gonna come to me. They gonna
Yeah. I
or
talk about that too. I talked about that, the comfortability, because they might be comfortable talking to their aunt or their grandma or their cousin because you're not giving them their comfortability. I have an episode about that, about making your kids feel at ease and letting them know that it's okay to talk to you. You're not going to tear their head off, or you're not going to be mad at them. Like, it's okay to come talk to me and tell me what's wrong or what's happening or what you need more of. And also, I feel like parents need to start talking more about their past, why they don't, like, my mom doesn't even hug me. She don't tell me she loves me. She probably call me once a month. You know what I mean? Like, it's something there that happened that I don't know about. So I feel like parents should talk about that more. And if they don't want to talk about it, work on it, so that way we don't have to grow up like that.
Yep. Or as a man, you understand, like, maybe why your dad act the way he did or did stuff he did, because when you get to about that age, you're like, so I understood my dad, all he knew was go to work. He didn't know the social and emotional, the
Mm-hmm.
hugging, the I love you. I didn't hear a lot of I love you when I was a kid, hugging, all that. And it's like, when I get in a relationship, they want to do that. What's that? What you doing?
Yeah.
Hug.
Mm-hmm. It's important. Yeah, for real. And I'm like that too. I've been working on that because it's real. Like, you ain't used to it.
Yeah, and you gotta, as a parent, you gotta make sure your child feel comfortable. Or if we go through life, we go through shit. If your child's teacher, or if it's the auntie or whoever it is, if you know them as a good person, allow your child to be, go talk to that person. Don't be,
Yeah.
you don't need to. Well, you ain't doing shit, so mind your business. I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help your child be successful in life and do better. Or because I see it as a teacher, like, life is messed up for kids.
Mm-hmm. And then don't go to the school telling my damn business.
Yeah,
So then the kid is scared to
listen,
talk
listen,
and might really need to talk.
parents, if your child is in kindergarten, first grade, preschool, I know all your business for no reason. We're in the middle of math class. Oh yeah, my dad did this. What does that have to do with us learning the numbers today?
No,
Like,
for real.
I listen. Perfect example. One of my students, she was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go on a field trip. My mom's broke." What?
No, she did.
Tell your mama business. Like, so just know we gonna leave it at that. Parents, your
Oh
kids
Lord.
tell your business.
They do.
They do. They do. Trust me. I know. I know it's always your business. It's funny to me. But, like, that's another thing. As a parent, your child should know your business.
Boundaries.
My son
What
knows.
happened to go in the room? Adults is talking.
Listen,
Man.
we will play cards, son. If you don't take your butt, come out here one more time if you want to. And it's not even that I'm doing nothing necessarily wrong. It's grown people time.
Yeah, it's a
It's grown
difference.
people time.
Time for
Or
you to be a
it's
kid
or
in
it's
a child's
like
place.
when you're dating. Everybody ain't your child uncle. That ain't TT. Like, my
No,
son,
for real. Oh my God.
my son think I
Not
don't.
with you.
My son think I get no women. I talk to nobody. He like, you ain't got no girlfriend. I don't never see. That's because you ain't supposed to, my man.
Yeah, for
You
real. It's
don't know
true.
nothing about what I'm
Boundaries.
doing. I ain't got nothing, and
And
that's
that's why kids are doing the things they be doing and acting how they be acting, and they be in stuff, and because
yeah, because
there's no
it's because
structure
of
with
us.
the boundaries.
It's because of us, and we have to do better with that. We gotta be real with our kids. Like, you can't. Your kid might smoke when they in their
Mm-hmm.
teenage. They might drink. They might go party. They might do some. But if you are open and you're not, oh, rah, 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 I don't do all that. It's like, all right, okay. If you're gonna do it, at least be smart. Like,
Yeah,
don't do it to where you gonna mess up your life.
yeah.
Like, my daughter, she a senior. This is exactly what I told her. I said, hey, I know you're gonna get the grades. Just don't fuck up graduating. Don't do
Yeah.
nothing stupid where you get in trouble or none of that to mess up. You got it. You accepted to college. You got the grades. Just don't do nothing stupid. And sometimes, senior year you do stuff stupid. But that's the kind of conversation I have with her, and she knows. She know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some
She
people
get it.
might not like how I presented it, but she get all right. I know what he's saying.
As
Don't
long as I
go,
do what I'm supposed to do, he don't care about nothing else. Just do what
yeah.
I'm supposed to do. Don't get myself into that.
And you have to understand your relationship. I can
Mm-hmm.
use 4-letter words with my kids, and they know I'm not cussing at them. They know I just cuss. They
Yeah, for
know I'm
sure.
not coming at them no ill way. I'm just using it in the context. So you might not cuss. You might pray with your kid before y'all talk. Whatever you do, make sure you have that healthy relationship. That's all we trying to say. So let's talk about your podcast. How long have you been podcasting? What made your podcast? And what is the podcast about?
My podcast is about I have two of them. I have one that's about like regular life, like relationships and just healing and different things. And then I have my human trafficking one. I've been podcasting for my human trafficking one is a few years old. And then like my personal life one is called Positive Vibes. That one is only like about a year. I've only been doing that one for a year. I just started speaking and talking and recording it, and I'm like, oh, this is a thing. People do this. I'm like, oh, this would be good to get the word out in general. And then you hear people like you or other people talking and y'all subjects, and then you hear people just social media like, oh, that's something I need to touch on or talk about, or so then it just drew me to it. And then so I was like, well, in my free time outside of my other businesses, I'll record.
Understand. Before I reply with that, do you have guests on your positive vibes one?
I want to. I just don't. I didn't know how to do this.
Well, we could talk offline. I could be your first guest. That
You
we,
should. I would. I
yeah,
was gonna
we,
tell you like we need to
yeah,
have a real conversation about
yeah,
everything.
we definitely could do that, and I could, show you how to do that with the video because I just started video this year, so I've been podcasting I would say a few years, like 3, 4, but I
Right.
had a radio show first and then I did the podcast. And I've had two before this one. One I had to end because my co-host ended up passing away. She got in an
Oh no,
accident.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So yeah, then I started this one and I was just like you. I was like, I know I can record, I can talk. I talk all day long.
Me too.
Like it don't matter what subject, if I
Me
know
too.
it, I'm gonna talk. So
Me
it was
too.
like I like interviewing people, and I was like, I like really talking to people, just anybody. And I was like, I just need certain topics to talk about. It's because it's really for people that think in or like me or like the old me. Like you want to be an entrepreneur, but you work a job or whatever. So I get people, or just somebody like you, like not too many people in real life and real time has seen or heard somebody have this type of conversation about human trafficking. So I was like, I gotta get her on here. I've never, just to hear.
Experience that
Yeah,
conversation. Yeah.
I like talking. You can learn from all different kinds of people. So that's really why I do the podcast. But I definitely want to be like Gilly and Wallow to
Me
success and,
too.
and make that sign that $100 million check.
Me
It's
too.
coming.
Like
It's
what?
coming.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, that's what
Off
I'm
a
trying to,
podcast, like you, like people think it like they be like, oh, you just no, like I might not be making the funds off of it, but when you're consistent, you keep going, you're gonna grow.
You're
Like
gonna grow because that's my
people gonna
thing. I'm trying
notice
to
you.
grow with it. I'm not thinking about the money right now. I just want
Mhm.
to grow from it and get me out there so I can eventually make money because I'm trying to help. I just want to speak to help. So it's like I'm trying. I love Wall on them, man. What?
Yeah,
I'm like, man, they
yeah.
need to get me up on that thing.
Yeah, I that's like it's certain podcasts that I definitely like want to be on, or it's certain people like that I want to interview just because it's underdog. Like it's a majority of people that are successful that we look up to were underdogs. So it's certain people that I want. Definitely Steph Curry, definitely
Yeah.
like a Draymond Green, a Tom Brady, like
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's kind of been the underdog where people forget that they were LeBron James was the underdog, even the projects. Single mother.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yes, I know. That's why I'm like, man, I want to interview so many people, and
Yeah.
just ask them.
So we gotta have so many episodes and then just shoot your shot. I shot
Yeah,
my shot at somebody. He lives here and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. I sent him the thing. He just ain't filled in the link. He a busy guy. But once he do, I'm like, boom. Okay, I shot my shot. I've text some other people or DM them. I ain't hear nothing back. Hey, it's whatever. You shoot your shot. If you don't shoot your
Yeah,
shot,
that's all
you
you can do.
don't know if you
Yeah,
can. And that's not just in podcasting, that's in relationships, that's in life. If you don't go after the opportunity, don't get mad at nobody else that you didn't get the
that
opportunity.
you didn't do it.
You didn't
And I
shoot your shot.
love how you do your like on your podcast, your wording, like everything. And I was like, man, and you do the video. I was like, what? Like, how's he doing that? And that's why I haven't had anybody, because I'm like, how am I supposed to do it over the phone? Like, like I was like, no idea. So I
Yeah.
just been recording myself, but I'm like, yeah, I definitely want people on. It makes it fun too.
It definitely does having different people because you get people from all over the world. So
Man,
I love that you have because we could talk about podcasting all day, but I love that you have two podcasts, one that separates who you are as just you as Brattany or whatever, who Brittany,
yeah,
whichever one you are that day. But then you have the one that surrounds what you do, because people fail to realize your brand or whatever you do has to correlate with each other. Ooh, I'm using big words.
yeah, you are.
I'm
Look at
proud of
you.
myself with that one. But you gotta make sure everything ties together. So people get to know the real you, but then they
Yeah,
get to know what happened to you and how you can help people. So it all ties together. So I love that. I love that you do that, and I love that even though you got a business, you work, you still doing it, and you letting people know who you are, and you're being helpful to people because like you said, human trafficking is a thing now. Like you
yeah,
hear about it every now and then, but just thinking about you said it was about 10, 11 years ago. That
man, and it
people,
still affects me. You
yeah,
know.
how 10 I was 20, I was chilling and like you wouldn't think of nothing like that, but it does happen. People get kidnapped or whatever, or taken, or like you said, you were a runaway, whatever the case may be, it does happen. So, um, give people 3 tips. It could be parents, it could be kids, because I think I'm gonna stick to the human trafficking. What they can do not to put themselves in that situation.
As far as kids, I feel like kids should open up to their parents and like listen, because I used to get mad like, dang, my mama don't want me to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, you want me in the house all the time, And it was a reason. I just didn't think about it till now. I'm like, oh, that's what she meant. So I feel like kids should pay attention to their parents' judgment, because you don't know why their intuition is telling you stay home, or you can't go here, or you can't be around these people. And so I feel like that. I feel like kids should open up more, but I feel like parents should be more emotionally in tune with their kids and start having conversations with them. Take the time out to have mother daughter day, dad daughter day, or son day. Like start spending more time there with your kids and making sure that you're emotionally in tune and you just know what's going on with them, who they're talking to, how they're feeling. If you're dating, how they're feeling about the person, if they know them. You know what I'm saying? Like just being more in tune, like with one another.
Yeah, definitely. Kids, listen. That's it. Just that word, listen. Because
Mm-hmm.
as kid, like you said, your mama telling you stay in the house. My mom was strict as all hell. Like
Man, she was.
like I can't do nothing. Or don't let me get in trouble. I'm doing a bid. I ain't just
Nope,
getting
for
1 or 2
real.
days. I'm doing a
I'm
bid.
like,
And it's like, but I understood. I remember I went to go watch Pursuit of Happiness, went to the movies, cried. Like I get emotional. I learned as an adult, I get emotional on certain stuff.
me
And
too.
not cry like boo-hoo ugly cry, but like just teared. And I called my mom, was like, thank you. Because I understood, like, as a parent, I didn't have my son yet, but it was like just seeing from a parent's perspective, life hard as hell, and you got to do everything in your power
Mm-hmm.
to make sure your kids straight. But kids, you got to listen. Your
I,
parent, no matter what's going on with them, they best interest most of the time, 90% of the time, is to make sure that you straight down the
yeah,
road. It ain't about whatever age you at, where you at right then and there. It's about down the road. because my
Yeah,
mom
it is. And
showed
then
me a lot of stuff, and I realized, oh, that's why I had to watch. Oh, that's why I had to do this. Oh, that's why I had to, so I can make it on my own. So listen to your parents. Don't think that just because they saying something or if they strict, it's for them to be mean. It's for them to help you, and it's for them to help you in the long game, not the short game. But it does help in the short game. So,
I feel like parents
go
need
ahead.
to not shelter the kids though. I do want to point that out before you move on.
Yes, yes,
Don't shelter them though, because I feel like that's the reason why a lot of people run away too, because they be sheltered and they want to do something. You gotta let them do something.
yeah,
Just set boundaries, set rules. Responsibility, make them responsible, but don't shelter them to where they want to run away with older men and go see experience things.
yeah.
Don't shelter them. Just let them be free a little.
Yeah, and it's a little harder now. Than the times we're at. Like you almost can't even really let your kid just be outside playing.
Man,
Let
I'd
the
be
other
scared. I'm
kids.
like, if I have a kid, I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah, like you got to be a lot. It's more cautious. It's like, all right, mom, I'm gone. All right, you better be in before them street lights. Nowadays, where you going? Text me, call me.
Yeah, you
I got
got to share my
you got
location.
to share your
Share your
location,
location.
all that. Yeah, but like you said, don't shelter your kids because you want them to be able to see what goes on in the real world, and it could be the simplest thing is they didn't know racism was out there.
Yeah, that too.
Or it could be whatever color your child is. You didn't know that your black friends got treated like that because you were sheltered, or whatever the case may be. Don't shelter your kids. Let them be able to see the world, but just give them the knowledge to be able to live in the world. So I need a quote. I always ask my guests for a quote. It could be your quote. It could be a quote you read. It could be whatever, but I need a quote from you.
Mm. It could be any quote. It ain't gonna be judged.
No, it ain't going to.
Okay.
Listen,
So my
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll tell you.
my quote that I use to myself is "Stay down to come up," and that's with anything I'm dealing with. Like meaning, stay focused. Stay determined. Don't give up. Keep going. Like no matter what trials and tribulations you hit, like keep going. Like because it's hard. Like it's hard trying to have like a regular life in businesses. Like I'm in the trucking industry and I work. Like it's hard and I be ready to give up because of my trauma. Like I have a bad day emotionally and then I'm ready to quit. So I just always tell myself, stay down until you get where you're trying to go.
I love it. I love it. It's simple, but it's very powerful. Stay down until you come up. And that kind of hit me. Like I've been staying down focused. It's like because when you're on the grind and you're starting something and the money ain't coming or
Mm-hmm.
you don't get the social
Nobody supporting
media
you.
or whatever, and you like, man, am I post? Yes, you supposed to. Because
Yeah.
it's not even about the people you think. Them people gonna have a handout when you make it, but they didn't have their hand in to help you. So you
And
gotta be
that's true.
careful. You gotta be careful with that. But I love that. Stay down, stay focused, stay on do what you're supposed to, be consistent, and that come up gonna come up. And when it come up, you're gonna be like, damn, this
And
was all
I'd be
worth it.
like that. I'd be like, dang, all the people that don't be supporting me, people don't be sharing my stuff. And this person reached out because I'm in the trucking industry and I teach in the trucking industry too. And this lady reached out and she was like, I'm getting all my my certifications to drive trucks. And she was like, I'm coming to you. I've been watching you for months. This other dude reached out, I'm gonna take your class. I've been watching you for months. I'm like, dang, you don't even know who watching you. So I stopped caring about everybody else to support me. Like I was complaining, oh, this person don't share it. They don't share my stuff. But then like I'm like super popular now. I'm like, wow, it ain't even the other people. It's
Yeah,
other people.
strangers get you rich before your own people will. Like,
Yeah.
and I see it all the time. Or it might not even be strange. Sometimes it be just people that you don't get the likes or whatever. I see what you're doing. I like your podcast. Like now people know that I'm a pod. Like people see me. Oh yeah, or my friend he got a podcast. I'll be like, dang, I'm really doing something.
Yes.
You just got to keep doing it. But
Mm-hmm.
to what you were saying with your quote, one lady was on here and her quote was "fuck the Joneses," and I was like, "Dang, you really just gonna say that? Like you ain't realize that my last name is Jones? You just gonna say fuck the
No, for
Joneses?"
real though, it is.
But I got where because it's keep
I
up with
got
the
where she coming
Joneses.
from though.
Yeah, I got where, and I was just sitting there like, damn, that's some bullshit. But hey, it is what it is
But it's
because I get
real.
where she coming from, and that's true, and that's just like what we were saying. Fuck the Jones, not okay, fuck the other people or your friend, the people that you feel like that aren't supporting you, because we're not
Yeah.
gonna keep saying fuck the Joneses, because we're a very powerful name, we're very powerful people, but that's not for the conversation right
Yeah,
now.
no, bro.
But
Not fuck
yeah,
the Joneses, but fuck the Joneses.
Yeah, because you get caught up in who likes you or who don't like you and all that different stuff. Or oh, I see old girl got this, or oh boy, it ain't got nothing to
It's
do with
social
me.
media though. It's
Yeah,
social
you
media
don't
too.
know because they going through what you going through. They just don't
Mm-hmm.
put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't put it out there because most of the time, what I'm talking about, I'm going through. I just
No,
talk.
for real, me too. And
I
I
just
feel
talk
like,
to other people.
yeah, and I feel like that too. I feel like people that try to keep up with the Joneses, not Jones, but
Yeah,
Joneses. I
yeah,
feel like people that do that, like if you feel like you gotta have all this designer and you gotta have all these bags and cars to feel like, that's a confidence issue. Because
yep.
you don't need all that to feel like you're, big dog. So I feel like a lot of people just don't talk about it. They hide it and do other things, to cope with it. That's what it is. It's social media. Like, it makes everybody feel a certain way. Like, oh, this person don't want to talk to me. They don't like me. They don't want to hang with me. Like high school and stuff,
Yeah.
because it's keeping up with the Joneses.
Because
Literally,
listen, you can be lame as hell and have a whole lot of money.
man,
Yeah, and that don't
it
change
don't
who
make
you
you.
are. Cause I'm gonna be Eric with no money, some money, a little bit of money, and a lot of money. Cause
No,
and
for
I
real.
don't wear no, I don't need no tattoos. I don't need none of that stuff. Now I ain't gonna lie, I might buy me a chain or two here and there.
Yeah, here and there.
I get a little funky, nice
Yeah,
little phone.
you gotta,
You'll never see me buy rims.
But
And
I'm not gonna live by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
yeah,
don't have
I'm
to
not
have it.
going. Yeah, if I wasn't able to go buy this or I'm not able to go stunt, no, I'm gotta stunt. I ain't gotta
Yeah.
because guess what? Nobody that you trying to stunt for signs a check for you.
No, for real. And they don't really care about it. It's not gonna make or break you. Because guess what? If you're unhappy, you're gonna be unhappy until you fix you. If you trying to have a certain amount of money or look a certain way for a certain person and then they don't like you, then you still don't got that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna make the people that I want to attract or the people that I want to see me so I can do better. And they don't care about that. The appearance, they care about what you stand for and the integrity and what you have going on. They don't care about what you can buy.
No, and they really don't care about you because you be making these people be making these posts, about how they this and that. They just want to be nosy just to keep it a buck with you. They just being
Yeah,
nosy.
for sure.
They just got something to talk. Ooh, I seen old girl. Wonder what they marriage going through. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
seen him post this. Wonder if he what up. And we might just have to come back to we gonna go on yo. I'm gonna go on your show.
We got to.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna come back on yours. I want
yeah,
to.
because we definitely can have a conversation, just a general conversation, and we touched a lot of different things. I appreciate you for coming on, reaching out. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you being able to overcome what you went through to be able
Thank
to
you.
help people. Because sometimes people just get over stuff, and they don't help nobody else. But you're helping people, and this is a very touchy subject. Like I'm sure it's days where you like, man, fuck this. Like I don't
Oh man.
and so I applaud you. I love to give my successful underdogs. I don't like saying guests, but my successful underdogs, they flowers. I don't know you from a can of paint, but I know you do powerful things and you inspire people. So I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you. I appreciate you too for having me though. Because I was like, I
Okay.
feel special.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So before we get out of here, tell people how they can reach you and then give us a closing word.
Okay. You can reach me at rescued for purpose _ on Instagram. And I just want to say, be yourself, love yourself, make sure you're putting you first, and stay down and come up.
And on that note, peace, one love. I'm the underdog with the heroic heart. I'm Eric Jones Jr. I have to keep pushing for my kids. If I give up, what's that leave them with? Nothing. I have to understand that it's bigger than me. That it's not about me when I wake up and go to work. It's not about me when I'm reading and educate myself. It's not about me when I'm practicing my speeches. It's not about me. It's about my family.